Okay, good morning. Good morning all. Good morning members, and welcome to the annual general meeting of South Wales Fire and Rescue Authority on today, Monday the 12th of June 2023. I'm Geraint Thomas. I'm ACO for Corporate Services. I'm also the monitoring officer for the authority. I'll be conducting the meeting today up until the point of the appointment of the new chairperson. First item on the agenda is apologies for absence.
Councillor Nuami in Power and ACO for Prendergast.
Can I add apologies for Councillor Marine Powell, please?
Thank you. Just to make sure that we've got everyone in attendance, we'll just conduct a short roll call. So Sarah, if I can ask you to undertake the roll call, please.
Thank you. General then. Okay.
Yeah.
Paul Ford.
Yes.
Martin Hughes.
Yes.
Kerry Wright. Councillor Wright, can you respond to me so that we can confirm that we can hear you?
Can you hear me?
You're Kerry Wright.
Sorry, Laura. Kerry Wright.
Yeah. Kerry? Oh, yeah, not me.
There's two of you. I'll come back to the right in a minute. Colin Ansbury. Hello. Adrian Hussey.
Present.
Thank you. Still was absent. Kate Carr.
Yeah, I think there was on screen.
Oh, are you on screen? Oh.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. Thank you very much. Bethan Proctor. No.
Yes,
She's on screen.
She's on screen. Bethan? Bethan, can you confirm that I can hear you on screen, please? Dan Norton. Dan?
Yeah.
Here.
Thank you. Sean Ellen Melbourne? Hello. David Isaac?
Here.
Hello. Morning. Laura Wright. Laura, it's your turn this time. Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Thank you. Trevor Watkins.
Yes.
Thank you, Trevor. Stephen Brantwick.
Yes.
Thank you. Georgina Williams.
Yeah.
Thank you, Georgina. Glyn Holmes.
Yes.
Good morning. Alban Roberts.
Yeah.
Thank you. Stephen Evans. Thank you. Alfie Best.
Yeah, I'm online.
Thank you, Alfie. Pamela Drake. Present. Thank you. And Ian Godfrey. Morning. So, Councillor Ali's indicating to speak.
Chair, it's Dilwar here. I just spoke to Bethan. She's having some technical problems. She will be rejoining to back again. She's present in the meeting from Cardiff.
Thank you very much. Going back to Kerry, Councillor Kerry Wright, can you just confirm that we can hear you, please? Online, but I can't get confirmation.
Maybe connected
She's on
problems.
mute, isn't she?
Councillor Wright, if you're online, if you can put your camera on and unmute yourself just to confirm. That must be technical. Okay, thanks for that. Just for the benefit of members in the room, if the officers present can just briefly introduce themselves, please. Starting with the Chief.
Good morning, Hugh Jakeway, Chief Fire Officer.
Morning members, David Rose, Temporary Deputy Chief Fire Officer.
Morning all, Gary Davis, Temporary Assistant Chief Fire Officer, Director of Technical Services.
Morning, members. Sarah Watkins, Deputy Monitoring Officer.
And Scott Morris, Member Services Officer.
And Chris.
Chris Honker, Secretariat.
And we've got two officers online as well, Chris and Gareth.
Yeah, Chris Barton, Treasurer at the Fire Authority.
Morning, Gareth Evans. I'm a group manager in the service. I'm observing the meeting today.
Thank you all. I'm hoping that we've covered off everybody. Okay, moving on. Next item on the agenda is declarations of interest. Just read out the short paragraph. Members of the Fire and Rescue Authority are reminded of their personal responsibility to declare both orally and in writing any personal and or prejudicial interest in respect of the matters contained within this agenda in accordance with the provisions of the Local Government Act 2000, the Fire and Rescue Authority standing orders and the Members' Code of Conduct. Are there any declarations of interest? On to agenda item number 3, the election of chairperson of the Fire and Rescue Authority for the municipal year 2023-24. Can I receive any nominations for the chairperson, please?
Steve Bradwick. And second that.
Any other nominations? I can ask all those in favour of that nomination. And unanimously. Congratulations, Steve.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Geraint. Thank you, members. As you know, my heart is with South Wales Fire and Rescue. I've been on this authority now for the next 14, 15 years. I believe we are still the best fire service in Wales. I stand by that, contrary to other people's thinking otherwise. I'd like to pay tribute to Dawn Parkin and Sue McConnell, who were previous members of the Fire Authority. They've left us, and I'd like to welcome Georgina Williams and Laura Wright as our new members on South Wales Fire and Rescue. I'd also like to welcome Councillor Tudor Davis, who was the former chairman of South Wales Fire and Rescue Service, who retired at the last election for the service. Welcome, Tudor. Welcome to our meetings. Nice to see you. Nice to see you looking good. So. Big shoes to fill you with, but I am trying to get in there slowly, if you know what I mean.
Nice
So,
to see you feeling well.
thank you, Tudor. So we go on to item number 4 on the agenda on page 7, the election of the Deputy Chair of South Wales Fire and Rescue. Move, Pat McGregor. Second it.
Any other nominations? No.
No.
All those in favour?
Yep.
Any against?
Thank you, everybody.
Unanimous.
Okay, then, so we go on to the next item on the agenda, item number 5 on page 9, which is the committee membership of the municipal year for 23-24.
Chair, before we move on, just with this one, in terms of the recommendations that are contained within the report, apologies on my behalf, copying and paste from old reports, using last year's template. The recommendation it no longer has to be voted on regarding whether the FAPM committee is politically balanced. That was decided within the amended constitution back in December. So it's stated in the constitution now that the members for the FAPM committee are drawn from each local authority, and it does not have to be politically balanced.
I'm quite happy with that. So members happy with that, with the recommendation?
We take each committee in turn then, so on page 13 of appendix 2 sets out what the makeup of each committee was last year. So if we, for the FAPM committee first, if we take the nominations for each of the local authority areas.
I move the nominations that are on the thing. For RCT, I move the Councillor Georgina Williams replaces Dawn Parkin, and Councillor Martin Hughes comes off finance and performance, and Councillor Paula Ford replaces Councillor Martin Hughes on that committee.
The others remain the same?
Yep. So, local pension board, I move that everybody stays the same on the local pension board. On HR and Equalities Committee, I move the same, but for Monmouthshire, Councillor Laura Wright replaces Sue McConnell, and Councillor Martin Hughes replaces Councillor Paula Ford on HR and Equalities.
Chair, you got councillor Norton indicating.
See, Dan?
Hi,
I can't see you, Dan. I can see you now, yes.
that's fine. Sorry, Chair. Because I'm on a number of committees on authority, I would like, if possible, to go off HR and Equalities Committee because I'm also on the scrutiny group and pensions. So if possible, could I go off HR and Equalities Committee?
Yes, by all means. Can we come back to the later date to fill that vacancy, Geraint, please?
No, unfortunately, with the HR and equalities, because we have 10 members on the finance committee, the chair and deputy chair are not members of any of the committees. The remaining 12 members are automatically on the HR and equalities committee. So if you want to come off one of the other groups, Dan, that is more of a possibility than withdrawing from HR and equalities.
Okay, in that case, could I go off the scrutiny committee then?
So we need to find an additional member volunteer for scrutiny.
Yep. Yeah, we come to that committee now. Okay, the standards committee. Does everybody want to stay on the standards committee? Glenavrion and Sian?
If it's possible to replace me on that one, that would be great. Obviously, the HR committee and main membership as well. It's quite difficult to have 2 weeks off in a row with regards to those weekends.
So can we have a nomination then, please, to somebody sit on the standards committee, please?
For members' information, the standards committee only meet twice a year unless they are stood up for any code of conduct type hearings.
It's February and October. If not, I'm happy. That's fine. Otherwise,
Chair, I don't mind going on if I'm allowed.
Hang on. Hang on, yeah. Kerry, Ian, carry on. You speak first, Ian.
I was going to say, if you want to volunteer and no one else is coming forward, I do it to make it easier.
Yeah. Kerry?
Oh, well, before Ian spoke, I was about to volunteer myself, so...
The only thing is with, obviously, you've already got 2 Labour members on the standards committee.
fair enough. If then the balance, then no problem.
Or Collins volunteering, yeah? Yeah. There we are. Great.
Have I been volunteered or am I volunteering?
Both. We both. Right. On to the representation for the scrutiny group then. So Dan, you want to come off the scrutiny group, do you?
If that's okay, Chair.
Right. We need.
Could I suggest in the same vein, really, that it should be taken up by an opposition member?
I was just going to say that. Yes. Well, as Marine Power's not here, I nominate Marine Power. Marines hospital never.
I'm checking that then.
Again, with that, Chair,
She can't do
the
it.
complication is
Yes,
she is on the FPPM.
Yeah, I just realised that. So,
just like that.
There is no political balance requirements.
No.
For the scrutiny.
So does anybody want to go on that scrutiny committee?
Am I allowed on that?
No. No.
Who is your
David? Go on. Because you're just retired now, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay.
Is that okay? No, you can't because you're on the FFP.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't, yes. That's the thing.
Oh dear.
I wouldn't do this for 10 minutes. Can I think? I look at the screen.
It was a hand.
Murphy's on it.
Kerry Wright, is it? Councillor Wright. Councillor Wright.
Oh, Kerry, yes, yeah.
Hi, yeah, I know this is terrible family emergency means I can't be in the room, but given that there was a deathly silence there on volunteers, I'm happy to volunteer myself. So, but then I don't know the rules. So
You can, she's on a FDPM.
She's off on.
She's on FEPM.
Yeah.
Again,
oh, there we go.
there's nothing within the constitution that precludes it, but it was just a decision taken at the AGM last year that the preference would be that members of FAPM do not sit on it.
Yeah.
Trouble is, it's such a huge array of Labour members, it makes it
Yeah,
very difficult.
it is, isn't it?
Can't be on everything.
I know,
because we're not
this is the
Labour.
problem we got, isn't it?
oh well, there you go. Just put me on anything you think you want me on. Basically, then I'll say you've put my hand up, etc.
Okay.
You can all do the jigsaw, whatever, in the room. Good
You
luck.
have to go with Councillor Wright.
Yes, yeah.
Well then,
Thanks,
so what do
Councillor
I
Wright.
need to write down, please?
Oh, you'll get an email from Barry, don't worry.
Oh, there we are then. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
I need to turn my camera off because of the bandwidth thing. My internet goes funny, and well, double bonus, you don't have to see my face. So
Okay, right.
thank you.
Okay then, so we go on to item 6 on the agenda on page 15. The election of a chair of the Finance and Audit Performance Committee. Please note the members elected on this committee can only nominate and vote on this item. So can we have a
Yes,
When you used to be chair, you used to give people a really right row for that. Councillor Davis?
I think that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, so can I have a nomination, please, for the chair of the FAPNM committee, please? Of
I
members who
nominate-
sit on that.
I nominate Steve.
Second.
Okay,
Yeah.
everybody is in agreement, show hands, please, yeah.
Sorry,
On
could
that
I-
committee, on that committee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So could I check who's seconded that? Sorry, sorry, Adrian, you can't because you didn't. Sorry, members of. Sorry.
Ian seconded. Ian.
Thanks.
It is where the confusion lies.
Okay, thank you ever so much.
That's why I ripped that.
Everybody happy with that? Yeah, on that
Yeah.
committee? Sorry,
Any other nominations? for-
hang on.
Yeah, we haven't voted on.
No, as I say,
No.
can I have a vote on it, please? All those committee members?
It should be nine votes, in 10 including the chair.
There's a hand up there.
That's
So
okay, sir.
All members of that committee
Yeah.
are content for that
Yes.
nomination.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to confirm.
So item 7 on page 17, election of the deputy chair of the finance and audit. Can I have a name, please, put forward?
I nominate Jen Morgan.
One second. Thank you.
Thank you.
Show of hands for that, please, again.
Everyone on that committee content, yes?
Yeah.
Thank you.
On page 19, item agenda 8, elect chairperson of the HR Qualities Committee for the municipal year 23-24. Can I have a name? And again, it's only the people who sit on this committee are able to nominate and vote on this committee, please. Can I have a name, please?
Sorry, which one you like?
HR Committee. HR Committee Chair.
Roberts, of course.
Yes.
I've got Roberts MD. Right, second, Chair.
Yes. Okay, can I have a show of hands for those, please, who are on that? Yep. Brilliant, thank you ever so much. We on to agenda number 9 on 21, election of the deputy chair of HR and Equality Committee for 23-24.
I nominate Kate Carr.
A seconder, please.
Second.
Can I have a show of hands for that, please?
Everyone on
Yep.
that committee content, yes? Lovely.
Brilliant, thank you ever so much. So we're going to page 23 to elect the chairperson of the scrutiny committee for the municipal year 2023-24. Can I have a nomination, please, for the chair of that committee?
I nominate Colin Ousley.
Okay.
Second that, Chair.
Can I have a show of hands, please, those members on that committee? Yep, it's carried. On 25, on page 25, they got the numbers around the wrong way for me this time. It's really confusing me. Item 11 on page 25, election of the Deputy Chair of the Scrutiny Committee. Please, can I have a nomination? Kate? No?
No,
It's
that's
Martin.
Martin. Somebody nominate Martin.
Oh, sorry, Martin.
I'll second that. Okay,
Thank you very much.
I'm trying to get the names together here.
We just take a vote on the members of the scrutiny committee. Happy with that?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yep, my agreement with that. Sure on. Item 12 on page 27, report to the monitoring officer to agree the appointment of the representatives from other groups and outside bodies of municipal year. So we go on to the community safety partnership. The only change on that would be the Monmouth. So that would be Laura Wright will replace Sue McConnell on that one. I attend the Welsh Local Government Authority meeting, that's myself. And for members' information, I attended my first local government meeting of the Fire Committee and the Fire Commission on Friday for the first time ever. And that was for the whole of the United Kingdom. Sorry, for England and Wales, which is not Scotland. And that was a very, very interesting meeting, that was. So with the representations on page 30 on Standing Orders Working Group. I know Maureen Powell has been in contact and she's quite happy to stay on that committee. As Colin and Ivron are still happy to be on that.
Yeah.
Last year, there was considerable pieces of work done around the constitution, the revised constitution, and the officers' scheme of delegation. I don't propose there be any such involvement this year with the Standing Orders Working Group, but there may be short pieces of work in which I will stand up that group.
And I would like to put on record my thanks to the three members for the work that they did do on that committee. It is excellent work. So Representation Innovation Awards, they stay the same. Steve Evans, Kelly Wright and Dan Norton. Representation of the Pension Board Advisory for Wales as the chair of the HR committee, stays the same. The members champions, we have got a change in the members champion. Is Councillor Jen Morgan, that's it, yes, is going to take over equality, diversity and inclusion. My mistake, that was, yes, it's Jen Morgan for that.
Yep.
Okay. On page 31, item 13 on the agenda, cycle of meetings.
For information, the proposed calendar is on Appendix 1 on page 33. This is the provisional meetings that have been set out the calendar for the year. Obviously, they may be subject to change as we move through the year, but at the moment, those are the dates for all the committees, Fire Authority, and Presentation Evening and Carol Service.
And there is the presentation evening on the 21st of this month, and I would recommend everybody, if they can, come to that event. I think it's a brilliant event. See the families and our firefighters receive the long service medal. I think it's really, really a brilliant night. On page 35, item 14, mail orders.
Sorry, just need to move the recommendation.
Yeah, oh yes, sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, is everybody's happy with the recommendations for the calendar of meetings?
Yes.
Yeah. In report item 1, appendix 1. Okay, thank you. On page item 14 on 35, Wales audit inquiries are those charged with governance. That response. Do you want to come to that?
Chris.
Oh, Chris, is it? Chris.
Bear with me, Chair. I'm just I've lost it on the agenda. Scrolling to 109 page document. So this report, Chair, is from Audit Wales. Each year they actually submit a document to us, which is audit inquiries to those charged with governance and management of the Fire Authority. And the intention here really is to ask the organisation, both officers and members, to respond to a number of matters, particularly in relation to fraud, law and regulation covering the activities of the fire authority, and also in relation to related parties. Those are people who have some sort of relationship with the transactions of the fire authority year to year. So each year the document is sent to us. It covers a number of questions in relation to those matters, and the questions are included within the appendix to their report, starting on page 42. What we've set out in the report there is each of the questions, the 21-22 response, so the response we gave last year, and then an updated response in respect of 22-23. There's nothing in particular that I want to kind of raise as a particular issue for members in respect to the responses. There are no concerning matters there in terms of the questions or the responses themselves. I'll draw members' attention to one error on the appendix, which is on page 45 of your agenda, question 8. That the current year response should say we are not aware of any fraud within the RCT pension fund since 1st of April 2022, not 2021. So that is just an update that we need to make to the document before it goes back. This document itself forms part of the planning work of the auditors. So when they receive this document, they will obviously choose to look at the different aspects of risk and audit preference that they have when they carry out the audit of the statement of accounts for the coming year. And obviously, if we do flag particular issues that we're aware of, or particular things that we think are matters that they should be aware of, then they will concentrate on those to a degree within the audit themselves. I'm not going to go through all of the questions. If members have any particular questions in respect of any of the areas I've highlighted, whether it be fraud, law and regulation, or indeed related parties, then please ask away, and I'll be happy to pick it up, or the team will.
Any questions for Chris, the Treasurer, on this?
Can I just add as a comment? Yeah. We don't normally bring reports of this nature to the AGM, but as I say, this is purely a timing matter. We need to get the response back, and obviously they normally have this questionnaire to us before the close of the normal municipal year, so it's just a timing issue, but we needed to get it signed off and ratified.
It's probably worthwhile reminding members as well, Geraint, that the timing of this, we aim for this document to be returned to auditors on the basis that we will have completed the draft accounts by the end of May, just gone, and that the auditors would be completing their audit during June and July. We are already aware that across Wales there are issues with regards to the timing of audits for this coming year. It's not something specific to the South Wales Fire Authority. It's more to do with changing audit standards and the actual ability of Audit Wales to resource the audits across all local authorities. So we're aware that our audit is probably going to get delayed for this coming year. So members should just be aware of that. Even though we're dealing with this now, we might see a delay in terms of the signing off of the accounts.
David, do you want to speak?
Yes, please, Chair. Just a bit of clarification on Chris. On 21-22, you mentioned about RCT April 2022 should read in the response column. In the response 22-23, should that read 22 at the end as well?
Bear with me a second.
Agree with you, yes, it should be.
Are there so the question this year is in respect of matters since 1st of April 2022. Last year's question was obviously a different question. So apologies for this. There's a bit of timing difference there. So the 21-2 response was in respect to a question about April 21. So it is correct.
It is correct.
Response 22-23 should read 22 then.
That's right. Yes, that's correct. Sorry, it is a bit confusing that, because the question itself will have changed as well. Apologies for that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chair.
That's okay. So the recommendations are that the FRA confirms the response to the Audit Wales questions that detailed in the appendix when attached. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
If you have any questions, please contact Chris on this one. Can I show of hands, please? Yep. Brilliant, thank you so much. So we go on to reports for information now. So we want to page 57, item agenda number 15, the annual report of the work of the FAPM Management Committee.
Sarah.
Sarah?
Thank you, Chair. Apologies, Chair and members. This was a lift and shift of the paper report that went to the last committee meeting. So I'm requesting that we amend the recommendation to ask that members note the contents of the report, because it's already been approved by members of the Clapham Committee. If they're content with that, apologies for that.
Yes, I am content.
So this is a report of the work of the Clapham Committee for the previous municipal year. I don't propose to take members through the report. I'm sure everybody's read and digested it, but just to acknowledge the work that Clapham did on behalf of the authority for the previous municipal year.
Thank you. Steve, do you want to say anything?
No, I'd just like to thank the members on that particular, committee and for the staff as well. The information we receive is exceptional, and we're not afraid to challenge, which we do. And we always get an answer back, so thank you for that.
Thanks for that. The recommendation that we just note this report.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very so much. Next item on the agenda is item 16 on page 67, the report of the HR qualities. Sarah, again here? No?
I'll happily take this one if you
Yeah.
want me to. So similarly, I'll do this on behalf of ACO Reid. Similarly, this report asks that members note the work of the HR and Equalities Committee, and in the appendix you can see the vast array of activity that was carried out by that committee over the last municipal year. Happy to take any questions, but if members are happy to note the work of the HR and the Equalities Committee.
What's that?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank committee members and Alison for all the work that was put in. There was a tremendous amount of work done over the years, you've said. And yes, I'd just like to thank everybody involved.
So, the recommendation is to note the work of the HR committee. So we go on to 75, item 17, the annual report of the local pensions board.
What's that?
Chris?
Sterling, John. Keep going.
Go on, sir, yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Again, the recommendation for this paper is that members note the work of the local pension board in the previous municipal year. The activity can be seen in the appendix. So if members are happy to note the work of that committee, I'd be appreciative.
I will move on, yeah. It's not the easiest thing to get to grips with pensions, because we have got several different pension things in here. Trying to get my head around it.
It's very complex, isn't it?
I'm just glad I don't sit in that committee anymore. It is really taxing, I tell you what now. So the recommendation is to note the work of the local pension board, and I tell you what, they do a really good job. I wouldn't want it. No, definitely not. So agenda 18 on page 83, the annual report of the scrutiny group.
So in fear of repeating myself, Chair,
Yeah.
Apologies, this paper again was lifted from the report that went to the scrutiny group. So if we could please amend the recommendation to members note the contents of the scrutiny group annual report. I'd be very thankful. And again, in the appendix, you can see the broad spectrum of work that the scrutiny group did over the last municipal year.
Okay, thank you. Colin?
Well, first year, I think quite well. Still got a lot more to do. I just want to thanks Sarah for all the work and from the members attending. It's been very good. I think it is the way forward.
Yeah, I think it's the way forward, and I just wish the other authorities would take a leaf out of our book. I leave it at that. Thank you. So just to note the recommendations, everybody's happy with that?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you. On page 91, the Standards Committee report.
And
Do you have a really good one today, sir? No?
yes, finally, the Standards Committee report. So this is the second annual report of the Standards Committee, and we have the recommendation correct in this report. So if members could note the contents of the Standards Committee annual report, which can be seen at the appendix, that would be marked.
Thank you very so much for that. I don't understand it, so we'll just leave it at that. So the last item on the agenda is to do any items, urgent items. I haven't got any urgent items, but Councillor Hussey, you want to say something, please? And I'll allow this.
Thank you. I'd just like you, if you could thank all the crews who attended the forestry fire at site over the weekend. An exceptional job as always. Pity they had to be called out, but to the department, thanks on and you must appreciate it.
I will do, yeah. If I could respond, Chair, thanks, Adrian. I will pass on. I think right across our service area through, we had a very wet spring in April, but as soon as that rain passed, we had a very dry May and into June, and there's probably not many areas across our service patch from Monmouth to Bridgend and Cardiff Bay up to Merthyr that hasn't gone unscathed by generally deliberate fire setting. We've attended multiple incidents which have turned to be protracted. The terrain isn't particularly easy or accessible for our operational crews, so we've been working with other partner agencies, particularly National Resources Wales, through a contract we've got access to airborne capability using their helicopter to transport water to inaccessible areas. We have taken the decision, or the operational crews have made some decisions in some areas to allow it to burn. It has not been a threat to life or property, but it would significantly impact on firefighter safety for crews, particularly in the outer darkness on some of the terrain that you're more than familiar with. So it has been a very busy operational time for the service. Joint Fire Control receiving over 500 calls in a 24-hour period. Unlike as well. So it's not just our operational crews, but when our operational crews are busy, that manifests itself right through the organisation, through Joint Fire Control, our operational officers, but also it has an impact generally into sort of fleet and engineering with vehicles, equipment, and the pulse of the organisation increases. So, we've been running extremely hot, excuse the pun, for well over 6 weeks against the weather. And you can imagine the terrain and the firefighting PP that our crews were as well. It's not particularly easy, but I will pass on your thoughts. So thank you.
And my thanks to the ones for what covers the whole of RCT, because we have quite a few in RCT lately. It's been horrendous. And especially the crew last Tuesday in Aberdare Station. They were called out to 2 events in my ward, one a bus caught fire in my school, and then some nice children decided to set fire to the memorial garden by the rock ground, set fire to the trees. So I was there with both crews. So luckily only a couple of 100 yards from where I was living. I was told my house is on fire when the back of my house is, when the rock ground is on fire. So I run from my allotment thinking that my house it was, but no, it was the trees at the back of my house that were on fire. That these youngsters decided probably was a good idea to set fire to these fir trees that have been there before I was even born, so that's 60 odd years ago. So yeah, it's a long time ago. Yeah, I'm old man now. I am. Yes. But no, pass my thanks on to them all. Thank you.
We'll get a notice into route. Chris will remind me later. We'll draft a message from Fire Authority members into routing of this.
Okay. And the last bit for the meeting, we have a passing out parade on Thursday, the 31st of August at Cardiff Gate Training Centre. First bit of the Fire Authority meeting is on July the 13th at 10:30. All future meetings of the Fire Authority committees will commence at 10:30. Provisional date for members' inductions is the 26th of July 2023, and there is an opportunity for members of official photographs taken for Fire Authority publications, etc. Okay, thank you ever so much. I declare this meeting closed.
Thank you, Chair.
Probably. Oh yeah.